No one likes commercials, especially right in the middle of your favorite show.
Goodbye. Oh no!
Let's face it, when ads come on, you check out. You swipe to the next video or sit there tapping the skip button until you can get back to the action. But every now and then, a commercial comes on that makes you stop what you're doing, sit up, and pay attention. You know the ones. Mind-blowing camera techniques, CGI, and special effects. In today's video, I'm going to show you what happens behind the scenes on the set of some of the most impressive commercials. Ready for an all-access look? Let's get it on. Old Spice. When it comes to amazing, revolutionary single-take shots, surely Old Spice is at the top of the pile in terms of creativity. It may not look like it from first appearances, but actor Isaiah Mustafa is actually suspended mid-air. He's floating above and amongst a set resembling an MC Escher impossible staircase painting. There are set elements above and below, and to the left and right of him. They move in synchronicity while he stays relatively stationary. As the sandy beach falls away, a real-life fish tank descends in front of him, giving the illusion that he's swimming in the water amongst fish and coral. Two halves of a grand music room move toward the center from either side, culminating in him lying on a piano. The shot is rotated to give the appearance of lying down, when in reality they've brought the piano to nestle up against him. CGI was used only sparingly to remove suspension wires and harnesses, and to create the diamonds pouring out of an outstretched hand. Hershey's. When you're selling food, the #1 goal is surely to make it look as delicious, delectable, and desirable as possible. Their famous s'mores assembly advert ticks that box, and also happens to be a masterpiece of stagecraft. The crispy wafer biscuit, gooey roasted marshmallow, and almost molten chocolate are all brought together with the precision of a surgeon thanks to robotic arms. The pieces are rotated and brought together with precise timing. The result, probably the best s'more you'll ever see in your life. Surprisingly, engineering's the real hero of this ad. There's little to no CGI, just some tidying up of the melted chocolate in post-production, and the obligatory removal of the mechanical hands that bring this sweet sandwich together. This gives the illusion that the parts are floating in the air, being drawn together. Cars. There's a secret behind many of the car commercials you've seen and you don't even know it. What if I told you that whether it's a Ford Mustang or a Toyota Prius, the same exact car is used in both commercials? Confused yet? The Mill is a British visual effects production company, and they created the Blackbird, a fully adjustable dummy car rig. Vehicle length and width, ride height, suspension travel, steering bias, acceleration profiles, and many other parameters are carefully tweaked to mimic the spruiked car. The next step, the Blackbird's covered in both cameras to capture the passing terrain, as well as targets on the main structural points. A skin of the desired car is overlaid on the dummy car in post-production, lined up with the targets on its chassis. Essentially, a car with shiny paint is just a giant mirror, and footage taken of the passing scenery is translated onto the car skin using CGI to create the illusion of a reflected landscape. Think of this as motion capture technology, but for cars. Deconstructed Burger. The deconstructed food movement is well and truly trending right now. People want their food broken down to its parts and plated up, mimicking art more than a tasty meal. Love it or hate it, there's no denying it takes some serious skill to pull off. But what about reconstructing food? Or one better, what about reconstructing food while it's flying through the air? Burger King did just that. Not with special effects or with video trickery, but with good old-fashioned physics. Why hire a CGI whiz when you can hire an engineer? The ketchup and mustard are propelled by mini catapults, synchronized and timed to impact directly in front of the camera. Sounds easy enough. The real challenge was the ingredients. The pickles, bun, tomato, and other components of the burger were attached to arms that launched them into the air with pinpoint precision. A servo-cut rubber band so each part was released perfectly. The culmination of the shot is the ingredients all landing, constructing the burger, looking as if it came straight out of the kitchen. This must have taken hundreds of repetitions before the perfect shot was captured on film. Now that's dedication to the cause. Hair care products. Slow motion, heavily detailed hair shots are some of the hardest things to get right. The human eye cannot easily be fooled, and we're yet to design CGI that looks completely real. And as we all know, real hair just doesn't look like it does in commercials. So how do they do it? Outside the box thinking is how every complex problem is overcome. If hair cannot move a certain way with the flick of the head, then maybe it can have a literal helping hand. The first hurdle is the shine of the hair. Essentially, what you're shooting isn't the hair itself, but the light that its luster reflects, acting as a mirror for the surrounding environment. The lighting is then adjusted during the shoot with trial and error until the desired effect is reached. But what about the movement? Truth is sometimes stranger than fiction. And the answer? Stage assistants dressed in CGI green-colored morph suits. They use their hands, green wands, hoops, and all sorts of tools to manipulate the hair to move in a certain way. The stage assistants and their tools are then edited out. G-Active. Our bodies are 60% water. Gatorade approached this campaign with a focus and direction based on one thing. What would the water in your body look like if it ran? It's an interesting question, but more interesting is how they pulled it off. It's something that resembles a scene out of Terminator 2, the figure performing all sorts of exercises. The technique to manipulate water droplets and make them appear as if they were in motion didn't exist though. This was the challenge. The process took 6 months to perfect, all for a 1-minute commercial. Motion capture is used to run custom 3D liquid printers. Strobe flashes freezes the water droplet at a specific time and position, filmed by a stop-motion camera. The sequence and process are controlled by a powerful computer with specially written software that organizes each shot into order. When the stills are played, it gives the illusion that the water droplets are actually moving. Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew wanted to really get into the heads of the athletes they sponsor. They wanted to reflect their culture, feelings, and ideas in an awesome way in a series of commercials. The idea was to create a living portrait, a collage of different elements, brought together into one busy shot that brings different aspects of their life into a single snapshot of that particular sportsman. During the course of the commercial, the goal of Mountain Dew was for the viewer to discover who that sportsman was, not just what they were known for. There are so many symbolic elements in each shot that many are missed with a single watch. It's only on subsequent views that it becomes clear exactly how much work and attention to detail went into the series. Viewing the advert on the company website gives you the opportunity to click onto the various components of the ad and learn more about them, adding an interactive layer to the campaign. The end result is the ultimate GIF animation, separately shot parts coming together to make a whole shot. Philips Carousel. What better way for Philips to advertise the world's first cinema proportion LCD TV than with a casual waltz through the action fight scene of a movie? There's only one catch. It has to be a freeze-framed, bullet time type shot, but in a continuous, single-shot style. An almost impossible shot, or so we thought. In this heist gone bad, cops and clown mask robbers frozen mid-action. Flames extend from the muzzles of rifles mid-shot. Shattered glass hovers mid-air as a man who looks suspiciously similar to Tom Hardy gets slammed through a glass partition wall. It's the single best continuous freeze-framed action shot ever, and lasts well over 2 minutes. How did they do it? You need to approach the problem exactly how you would approach a film set. A crew of over 100, 5 months of planning, a 3-day shoot, using a state-of-the-art motion control robotic camera running through the set on mini railway tracks, as well as 3 full-size cranes. Heavy investment in post-production to remove all the wires, harnesses, and other equipment so it's not visible in the end shot. Apple HomePod. Sometimes all you need for a brilliant commercial is a visionary, a world-class director, someone like Spike Jonze. The man can do it all, from serious films to comedy and even action. The guy started out directing skateboarding videos. It's no wonder then that the marketing machine at Apple decided to employ the expertise of Jonze to launch its new HomePod. The second piece of this puzzle was hiring acclaimed dancer FKA Twigs to star in the advert. In the short film, choreography takes center stage. Instead of it being an afterthought, the set design is built around the blocking of the movements. It's a celebration of interpretive dance, of letting your body flow to what the music is doing at that point in time. How that sound would look like if it were a movement of the human body.
Until it's over.
art using the human form. Instead of using CGI or editing and post-production, the set's fully automated with rooms and walls moving around constantly in a preset pattern. The house extends, stretches, and metamorphoses in a completely mechanical way. Rocket Mortgage. Super Bowl commercials are a big deal. They cost an astronomical amount and are seen by hundreds of millions of people worldwide. If you want to reach your target audience, you need to pay through the nose and make your commercial as over-the-top, unique, and memorable as possible. Rocket Mortgage enlisted the services of Jason Momoa for this absolute humdinger of an ad. The basic idea is to see how he lives, a slice of life, how he relaxes and unwinds at home. The humor comes in when we see a very different and straight-out weird version of the actor we've come to know. Upon walking into his home, he proceeds to tear off his muscular arms and ripped abs, revealing that he is in fact all skin and bones. He pulls off his trademark long flowing wild man hair to reveal he's bald, and plays the blues on a slide guitar. A cutaway shows Momoa on the bench press struggling to lift just the bar, with incredibly skinny arms. Clever use of green screens and CGI makes the process seamless, and has the desired effect, leaving the audience with their jaw drop.
Good one.